course.
So you talk a lot about self-awareness and knowing yourself. What does that mean for young people that have had a hard life or deal with a lot of different things that kind of kids shouldn't deal with at this age?
Mm-hmm.
So I know self-awareness in like knowing yourself, but how do you, like, what are your thoughts when you're trying to figure out yourself and you have to kind of deal with the baggage in your life? Like, you know, I never hear you talk about counseling or anything like that, so I'm just wondering, like, kind of your thoughts on more about self-awareness for these guys. I'm interested in.
Look, I think people that are growing up in the best environments of all time are struggling with self-awareness at 13 and 14.
Sure.
I mean, 90%, 98% of my company here in their 30s and 40s and 20s have no clue on self-awareness. So here's what I would say. I would say that I'm a big fan of just eating reality. I'm just a fan of it. You know, like the reality was I was never, like my dad, I had my dad, but I didn't because he worked every hour. I never saw him. Missed every game, just didn't see him. Worked every hour. That was my reality. Now I was happy, it was way better than he leaving or dying or, you know, it was great, but like I didn't have him. I could have done what my other friends who have workaholic parents do and dwelled, be like, my dad's not at my baseball game, or you don't. Look, I am not going to shortchange the extremities of all the things, you know, all the cliches, parents, drugs, murder, mental health, like all the things. The thing that I have not figured out is how to get the universe to give a fuck. So to answer your question, it's amazing to see people in good situations and bad situations go through a situation and do this. Like if I could give everybody a drug, it would be optimism. Right? Like if you're willing to look at all your shit, whatever it is, and by the way, everybody thinks their shit is the shit, right? Like everybody's like, I've had people sit in this room one by one with me say, if my dad didn't give me $100 million, I would have never been a loser because it all came too easy to me. Everybody thinks their shit's the shit because it's their life, right? People that don't have parents and things, they laugh at that. They're like, fuck you. But that person thinks that's the shit. So it's about, you know, I don't know. The reason I don't talk about a lot of things I don't know. I don't know how to recommend, you know, counseling or how to build self-awareness or mental health. I try to stay away from things that I don't know because I think that would be detrimental to the things I do know. What I will say is, you know, self-aware, so I don't know how to teach self-awareness. I just know it's the game. Once you know who you are, it manifests into self-esteem. You don't actually then give a fuck what, you know, you sit here and just don't give a fuck what they say or any girl say, like you just don't care. It's crazy when you get there. That's like the fucking ultimate. You're just fucking living life like in the Matrix. You're just like running through shit. To actually not give up, especially at this age, that's what happened to me. I still think about it. How the fuck did I not give a fuck? Right? Because it's like when you're like 13, 14, 15, like your friend, that's your whole life. I just remember not caring and I was just on some different shit in my head. So that's what I want for everybody. Because then you're fucking set.
How do you get there?
I don't know, man. That's why I don't talk about it, right? Like I just, honestly, I swear to God, if I knew how to get there, this whole thing would be a wrap. I'd own the jets, I'd own the world if I knew how to like get there and get people there, right? I try to get there by talking about it and maybe somebody's like, oh shit, that's kind of like me too. Let me go deeper into that. I actually do feel like that. I actually don't give a fuck when I do, like, I don't know, but God, it's big. Because then peer pressure's out. Then you're just not getting dragged into anything you don't want to be doing.
Can I ask a question
Yeah.
that kind of goes
Yeah,
with
please.
that? So Nate, I'm going to call you out a little bit on this. So what do you do or like when you're talking to someone and trying to figure out what their passion is? And I know you talk a lot about what your passion is how you spend your time, right? So in speaking to our guys and they're like, I don't know what I want to do, or, you know, I'm not really into anything, kind of what is your advice?
Listen, I get that fucking, my first book was called How to Cash In on Your Passion, which fucked me up because then everybody kept emailing me like, what's my passion? Like, I don't fucking know you. Like, I don't know, like I have no idea. The biggest thing you realize is a lot of people don't know or never find it, or, you know, my belief is the only answer for any of them, right? For you, for anybody, is you gotta figure out how to try shit. Like that's the only, like you just never know what your favorite food was until you try it. If you only had chicken, you might have not known that hot dogs were the best. So that's what I love about the internet. These kids have so much option to like watch shit on YouTube, and so like, my only answer to Nate or anybody like is just like try shit. And so like that's back to opportunity. Easy to try shit when you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank and parents that take you to shit. You gotta hack the game, right? Like that's what's passionate for me about this today. This is me letting them try shit. Hear it a different way. Something could happen. Who knows? Maybe not. I'm willing to go 0 for 9, but you try. So like that to me, that's why I love the DM thing, right? Like you don't think 21 Savage is hitting you back, but he might. Crazy shit happens. People decide no before they try. You've just decided no because the system tells you no. You've been sold no. And by the way, not just you, the fucking world. Not tough situation, the world. Everybody's saying no. I just say yes. And then if it's a no, I don't give a fuck. You gonna judge me that I lost? I don't give a fuck what you think. And that's why I get so into that. Because then you're not scared to try shit. Because when you don't give a fuck what anybody says about you failing, you love failing. I love losing. It is crazy. Because
I hear you say that all the time, and it is crazy that you say that. And
I love it.
About it all the time, because with him and YouTube, and it's like we partner on this. You know,
Yep.
like I hate being on camera, and
Yep.
that's like not my thing. So he does that, and I do a lot of like social media stuff and things like that, and partnering with him. But
you're thinking about distribution.
it bums me when something doesn't work and we think it's going to be great, and the idea of loving the failure, that always
I
trips
love
me
getting
up.
punched
Like,
in the mouth. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
What is it about the failure that you love, or
I
that
want to.
drives you?
It makes me want to stick it to everybody who judged me when they judged my fail.
And that is true. I like that part.
Well, that's it. I like
just
it.
need to think more about that.
I actually love it. You just kind of like it.
I don't think I understand it yet. We haven't scored that big. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe this is.
I get it. I get it. Like to me, it's yeah, it's like it's a chip on the shoulder. I loved being an underdog. I loved being like from Russia and not speaking English and like being small. Like somewhere around 3rd grade, I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna be as good at sports as these other kids are getting real fucking tall. Like just like like I just loved it, and I still love it. And it's really funny now that I've made it in my little space. Like I want to do other shit. Cause I don't want to, like, as soon as I won the wine game, I left. Cause I don't want to be the top dog. I don't want people trying to get me. I want to try to get them. You know? I love the grind. I love, you like that?
That's tough. That's tough. It's real shit too, because it's like, when you at the top, it's like, there's nowhere else to go. It's
It
like
sucks.
everybody is right at your neck, but when you always reaching for the top, then it's like that constant grind.
And I gotta tell you, man, and I'm telling you, my friend, this is the operating system of the universe. This is the only thing that matters. This is the only thing that matters. The attention on this is the game. And like that just, and like you could make an Instagram account. Like go ahead. Like this one kid I'm watching on Musical.ly, he went from 0 to a hero in 4 minutes, 5 videos.
A problem that we have, like promoting our stuff, like on Instagram, everyone is like trying to promote and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, we're not getting heard because of that. So how do you avoid that?
You don't avoid it, you start doing different shit. You're doing what everybody else is doing. Let's put up a post. He listened to me and DM'd this hardware store, and now something good happened. You know what I would do if I were you? I would hit up everybody who's making funny videos and offer them free music.
That was my idea.
It's great, man. Just
Definitely what I was thinking.
guys, you need exposure. If you get some booty girl to like twerk behind your music, it could happen. Like you just need people to hear it, right? If you got somebody like Daquan or somebody like with a funny account who just uses your beat or uses your song as the background music to the clip they're trying to put on, but you have to give, here's the thing that back to losing, that I understood. When I was low, nobody high gave a fuck. So I wasn't going to people that were high and said, do something for me, I was going to people that were high and saying, this is what I'm gonna do for you. And that's why I try to get people into the nobody gives a fuck about your problems mentality, because then you don't roll up on people asking or thinking that. Nobody's gonna put you on just cause. They're gonna put you on because they needed a beat for their shit. You just gave them one.
That's crazy. Yeah.
What else are you guys into? Like, what else is in your world? Like, what else are you thinking about?
Like me,
Yeah.
like me personally,
Please.
like since me coming into high school, like,
Yeah.
I developed like so many times like contracting. I used to do like sneaker things, like design art. So I'm like, I really don't know like what direction to go because I have like so many talents, but it's just like so many capabilities. So I'm just like right now just living, just to see what's going on. Like I'm doing opportunities. Like I be trying to do sneakers, trying to get the clothing line started. Try to do a whole lot of stuff, but it's just like
Are you enjoying it?
actually like what I really enjoy. Like I'm a mentor. I like helping people,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm really trying to get into. But like right now, I really don't know my direction. So like I'm just
Maybe that's the direction. A lot of times I think the doing is the direction. Right? Like the reason I asked you if you're happy is if it's going good, like if you're happy, there's almost nothing to say. Right? Like I think, I think taste, when I hear that was just what I said earlier, right? Like try shit. Like if you're mentoring and sneakers and trying to start, like you're doing shit. If you're actually doing it. To me, the thing is, I know a kid, a friend of mine, who's had a similar thing, and I was like, cool. And I like asked one more question. I realized he was doing it like for 45 minutes a day. But he had crazy ambitions. How many hours a day?
15, 16.
Yeah, like that's the only way. Now, you got school and you got some other shit you gotta take care of, but there's a lot of time.
Can I add something to what you said regarding
Please,
failure?
you just went through living it.
So if you don't fail on your next 5, 10, 15 attempts at whatever, you're not gonna get to that next step to find what you love. So if you're just sitting and thinking about what am I gonna do, what am I good at, what's my passion, and never actually do something, you'll get nowhere. But if you say, let me try this, I love the sneaker thing, and you fail on it, good. You'll be done with it and you'll go on to the next and on to the next. And if you look at the one thing I noticed, and I'm sure you guys will agree, from anyone who's successful in anything, whether it's a business guy like Gary or an artist or anybody who's successful, the one thing they all have in common is they failed 99% of the time before they have a hit song, before they have a good business, before
Or they just worked, right? Like I would tell you straight up, I didn't fail a whole lot other than school because I knew that's what I was not gonna do. It's just that people don't realize that LeBron fucking took 4,000 shots in a day in 4th grade. Like, what do you think they're doing? Like, listen, you guys know, this is what I saw at Mount Ida. I was like, fuck, man, some of these kids are athletic freaks. But then they were just smoking blunts all day. I was like, oh, that's why didn't they make, now I understand. They weren't waking up at 5:30 in the morning, running, fucking hitting the gym, and then shooting for 9 hours a day. All my, like 50% of the kids in my suite, 301, they're like, I'm gonna be a rapper. Like, they didn't write all day. They never tried to get into studio. Like, they didn't do shit. They talked shit. Gotta do.
worst thing you can do is do nothing.
Pondering, complaining, dreaming. It's one and the same. If you're dreaming or if you're complaining, it's the same shit. It means you're just not doing shit.
One of the things I love that you often talk about is, well, not often, I think I've heard it like one or two times, is, people do look at the famous people, whether it's a celebrity or a sports person or a musician, and they kind of hate on them, like, oh, it was easy, or oh, it was this or that. They make excuses and kind of hating on these people, but
like, talent's real too. Like, serendipity happens. Like, Lil Yachty wasn't doing all that much work. Wrote a couple songs in Arkansas State and went. Happens. It's not the norm. But, listen, life is talent and work ethic. Nothing else. You can work 19 hours a day on beats. If you're not good enough, nothing good's gonna happen. That's just real. Which is why it's important to try and taste shit, because you might be the greatest fucking cook of all time.